What is up, Film Geeks? My name is Trevor, and welcome back to my channel. The month of October is gone. We are now in November, but before we get into November movies, we have to go back and rank all the October movies that I saw. I saw 8 releases in the month of October. It's not a lot, because I know like 50-something movies came out in the month of October, which is weird for the year 2020, but I saw 8 of the pretty big releases that came out in the month of October. We're going to be placing them on their proper tiers. Join me in the comments. Where would you guys place some of these movies over others? How many movies did you see in October? And just let's talk about movies down below in the comment section. Let's have a good, lively conversation. And with all that said, let's get right into our tiers. Alrighty, first up, we have amazing, then we have great, then we have good, then we have meh, then we have bad. A couple movies will be going in bad this month. So, first up, we have The Lie, like the Amazon Prime, Blumhouse movies they did. I know 4 came out in October. I only saw this one, and didn't really want to go out and check out any of the others. And if I should go check out a couple others of those Amazon Blumhouse movies, let me know. But we're going to go ahead and put The Lie in meh. The big twist they had at the end really just debunked the whole film, which basically made it just unrewarding whatsoever. And it kind of frustrated me to a certain extent, because like we were building up something so spectacular this whole time for a big reveal, and like the entire movie was a waste of time because of what happened and what the big reveal was. It was a mediocre movie the entire time, and the whole ending, I was like, maybe the ending's good, we can be a good movie. We got to the ending and I was like, yeah, this is a meh movie. Not bad, because it definitely was interesting, but definitely just not good. Next up is Hubie Halloween. I was a little harsh on this in my review. I would put Hubie Halloween in good. I'm not saying it's a good movie, but I'm a sucker for Adam Sandler comedy. There were several times where I laughed in this movie, and it really got me into Halloween spirit. And I honestly thought about this one quite a bit. It really got me into Halloween mood. And next year, around Halloween time, I might go back and revisit Hubie Halloween. In my review, I was saying it is over the top. It's too over the top. And yes, that's a fact. This film is way too over the top. It got to the point you're like, okay, we need to tone it back a few notches here. But it's fine. It's solid nonetheless. It's better than The Lie. If I'm comparing the two, it's better than The Lie. So I'm putting Hubie Halloween in good. If you want to cancel me, feel free to hit that dislike button. Next up is Clouds, and I remember I did a 3-for-1 review, The Trial of Chicago 7, Love Monsters, and Clouds, and I talked about Clouds the least because it's a very emotional movie, and I've watched it 3 times now in the month of October, possibly, not even joking, my top 3 of the year so far. Clouds is going into amazing. The song Clouds is so good. I've been singing it on loop. And this story is not only heartbreaking, but incredibly inspirational. I'm a sucker for true stories. If you're new to my channel, I'm a sucker for true stories. Like, anytime there's a based on true story movie, I'm the guy to go and check it out. And Clouds is that perfect, inspirational, heartbreaking, wrenching movie that makes you laugh your butt off, will make you feel inspired, but it will literally make you cry. 2 out of the 3 times I watched this film, I cried my eyes out. The first night I watched this, I was a mess, man. And I thought to myself, like, you know what, I don't want to talk about this because I was really emotional in that review. If I could go back, I would punch myself in the face and I would give this all the praise. Clouds is fantastic. It's fantastic. Next up, we have The Trial of Chicago 7. Again, has to go in amazing. The acting in this film is next level amazing. But also, the screenplay by Mr. Aaron Sorkin himself. That's perfection, man. And a lot of people aren't really giving him props for the directing wheel in this. I mean, he directed the movie greatly when they're kind of going over what happened in the courtroom. Then they're flashing back to when that actually happened. I thought that was really, really well done. And if anyone should get nominated for acting in this movie, it's Sacha Baron Cohen. This man, we're going to get to his other movie here in a second, but this man can act. And it's not just Borat. This man is a fantastic actor. Should easily get a supporting actor nomination. But also, Jeremy Strong is like more of the minor of the main characters. He's very, very good supporting actor as well. But Sacha Baron Cohen to me was a standout. He's very, very funny, but he also has lots of just really meaningful lines in this, and it's a very, very well-made movie. Not one I don't know if I'm going to go back and revisit anytime soon, but if it gets announced for lots of awards, I would not be surprised. Next up is Love and Monsters. I adore Love and Monsters. It's got to go in amazing. I mean, October had these 3 movies in amazing, probably all in my top 10. Love and Monsters is so slept on. You guys need to check it out. I rented it for $20 when I could have bought it for $25. I wish I bought it for $25 because I didn't think I was going to like it. I fell in love with it. It is I think, a better version of Zombieland. That's exactly what I think it is. And if you're going to compare the two kind of movies, that's exactly how you would compare them. I think this is a much better movie than Zombieland. Zombieland's very funny, very unique, very ahead of its time, yes. But Love and Monsters did something a little bit different and something I think a little bit better. I mean, the world they created, how the apocalypse actually happened, was awesome. But this little story we've seen before, Dylan O'Brien is with his colony, and him and his girlfriend got split up before the apocalypse happened. She knows where she is. She's less than 90 miles away, about 80-something miles away. He goes out into the surface where it is monster affiliated. There's monsters literally everywhere that will kill you, eat your brains out, and he is not the strongest guy. He's like me in Apocalypse. If I was in Apocalypse, I'd be dead hour one. This is a fact. So he's definitely just a timid guy, very scared of the world, and he goes out to find love, and he learns to find his courage along the way. It's very cliche. We've seen this kind of story before, and I definitely saw the big twist coming at the end, but a very fun, very funny, and Dylan O'Brien, the man can act, and the man is very charming. I would want to see him in more movies. Love and Monsters, if they wanted to make a sequel, I am game for it. I had a ton of fun with Love and Monsters. Next up is Holiday. Holiday's going to go in the good tier. It's a romantic comedy about these two people who never have dates, or like they're never dating anyone around the holiday time, and their families always giving them crap for it. So these two people run into each other, meet each other, and they become each other's holiday, meaning they come to each other's family events, like their parties, Christmas parties, Thanksgiving dinners, all these different things. So it makes their family think as if they're not alone. And along the way, they end up falling in love by the end of the film. Is it cliche? Absolutely. But I'm a sucker for romantic comedies. I love me a good romantic comedy. And this is a pretty good romantic comedy. I laughed out loud several times. And the fact that it was rated R was definitely used to its advantage. I mean, lots of romantic comedies are PG-13. It feels like there's a wall and a barrier before them where they can't really expand exactly what they're trying to say. This movie is a little bit raunchy. I love it. I love some raunchy comedy, and Holiday is awesome. I actually really did enjoy it. Next up is Borat, subsequent film, and a title too long for anyone to remember. You guys might hate me. I'm going to put Borat in meh. I was honestly going to put it in bad, but it's not as bad as in the next one we're going to talk about. Borat, for me, the first one was never that funny, never my kind of humor. So coming into this one, I laughed a couple times, definitely towards the beginning, just like the first Borat. When I watched the beginning, it was very funny. But as the movie went along, I found myself getting more annoyed. And for Sacha Baron Cohen to be Trial of Chicago 7, a fantastic Oscar actor, it really turned and flipped the switch to be this weird, kind of just clunky, funny guy. It's really cool to see again. He's very good in this film, but Borat's is not the comedy for me. And I know it's for a lot of you guys, but for me, it's never found it that funny. And last up on this list, Apple TV Plus. This is definitely a big disappointment for me because I was very excited. It's got to go in the bad. I mean, On the Rocks is... It's very unfortunate, but like the movie really just picked up and jumped from the very start, and I don't really like when movies do that, when they just kind of jump in, like we know what's going on, we know the characters, we know they're unhappy, and then the whole story again, by the time you get to the end, you're like, none of this, there's no payoff, because we got to the end of the film, we're expecting one thing, and we got something like we didn't want. Well, not that we didn't expect it, you just didn't really want that, and that's what we got. I thought it was extremely dull. I thought it was extremely boring. The color grade was just so like dark, so the film just felt boring. I was head bobbing throughout this meeting. I was almost falling asleep several times throughout this film. On the Rocks is my least favorite of the month. It's probably going to be my top 10 worst of the year. That's just me. I hate ending on a negative note because there were some great movies. 3 of my top 10 favorites of the year in this month alone. What did you guys think of October movies? Where would you guys place these movies that I have here? What tiers would you put them on? If you guys haven't seen Clouds or 11 Monsters, which not enough people have, do yourself a favor and go check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I enjoy doing these all so much. And if you guys like these end of the month recaps, make sure to let me know by hitting that thumbs up button because I will continue to do them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Later tonight, Stranger Things Episode 3 reaction. I'm hyped for it all. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.